Hey, what's up guys, Totallydubbed here. Today I'm doing a video review on the Denon AH-D7200. Now these headphones can be found for around £470 on Amazon.co.uk and around $800 to $700 on Amazon USA. Links will be down in the description below in case you're interested. Now the D7200 follows on from the old classic look of the D2000, 5000 and 7000 range. In fact, my daily drivers and the ones I still go back to are my custom modded D1200s. They've been fitted with Lawton audio pads, have D5000 dampened cups and a D7000 cable that's been terminated by a 3.5mm jack. One could say it's no longer a D2000 anymore, it's a D5000 hybrid. But I was very much intrigued to see how this has come along, how these new headphones have come along from their older generation. To give you an idea, these headphones were replaced initially by the D600 and then the D7100. They had a radical different design. Most of the community felt that this kind of like new modern look didn't really appeal to what the Denon headphones were traditionally known for, having a nice traditional wooden look or even plastic look with the D2000s. And I'm really glad to see Denon returning to that with the D7200. You've got a classic type of look with a nice finish. So first, let's talk about the look and the build quality, and then we'll go into the sound quality. So first of all, the build quality. It is literally identical to the older model. It has pretty much the same type of headband. It's got a same type of look. Almost the drivers have almost the same way of going and holding the actual driver enclosure. They still have the same sort of adjustments. So you've got a little bit of pivoting over here, and then you've got the adjustments of the headband, which will fit any size of type of head. You get the same type of clamp force as well, which is one thing I absolutely loved about my Denons, and loved about the older Denon line as well, is the fact that they didn't have much clamp force. Clamp force means that when it goes on your head, it's not going to cause too much problem, especially if you're like me and you actually wear glasses when you use them on a daily basis. So it's great to see Denon has gone back to the drawing board and gone for a more traditional design. Now the right and left indicator can be found within the earphones, within the headphones, so it's pretty clear. In terms of the design of the headphones, they look fantastic. Now what I love is that Denon has actually used they claim 100% natural walnut ear cups. I'm glad to see that, and it looks absolutely beautiful. I must say it's one of the one of the selling points for me when I upgraded my Denon D2000s was its looks and its design. I really love that wooden look, and I really like what Denon have done here. It's a nice wooden look. It doesn't quite compete, in my opinion, to the old D5000 cup or the 7000 cup that was before as well. However, it is very, very nice to look at. So good job, Denon, in that respect. Now the headphones have got a removable cable, which is nice to see. One of the things that I really disliked about my D2000s or even the D5000s is that their cable completely frailed and it was really annoying. D7000 on the other hand didn't have that problem. It had like an upgraded cable, and this is the one that I'm actually using over here. And it's nice to see that they've got the same sort of beautiful cable. It's perfectly long, which means that you can plug it into the back of your receiver or whatever have you. And it's terminated by a 6.3mm or 1/4 inch jack as well. Now, of course, you can use an adapter 6.3 to 3.5, and then you can plug it into like your Cord Mojo, like I did, or into your smartphone. Now the cable is removable, and it's clearly indicated by a white and red indicator within the headphones to know which way to plug it. Very simple and very easy to do. I really like this because when it comes to portability, when I was taking the headphones around with my laptop, I could just unplug the cable and not worry about the strain relief getting under a severe strain in my bag. So it's great to see that. So overall, in terms of the look and the build quality, I have absolutely no complaints. But now let's talk about comfort. Now, one thing for me, what I loved about the Denon line was the clamp force, and it's very much the same case over here. And I also liked their pads. Their pads were relatively soft, and they sat pretty nicely around your ears. Now I can confirm that these 50mm drivers do sit over the ear with no problem, even with my big sized ears. And in terms of the pad itself, no problems. Now, of course, I had the Lawton audio pads, which are the upgraded pads and are much thicker. As you can probably see over here, if I just compare the two, you'll probably be able to see that my Denon D2000s over here have got much thicker pads. That means it gives me extra comfort, but that's not stock. The stock that you used to get is pretty much on par or equivalent to the pads that you're getting over here. So when it comes to fits, it fits absolutely lovely around the ear, and you can see no problems whatsoever. Now in terms of isolation, in case you're wondering, they are closed back headphones and they're over the ear, so you're going to get a decent amount of isolation and very little noise leak. They're not like open back headphones. However, bear that in mind, they're not going to cancel out any sounds around you. But that said, they're going to be used at home rather than on the go, so it's to be expected. However, one thing I did have with the comfort is the headband. Now the headband has a slight, I'm not sure if my camera's going to pick it up or you're going to see my face or the headband. It's got a kind of like a ribbed kind of design, and I understand why Denon have done this to make it better in terms of sweating. So obviously when you sweat at the top of your head, it's going to have some room to breathe. However, what I found with a couple of hours of usage, I was finding that these headbands, even though they've got very little padding, were a lot more comfortable. It didn't feel like it was digging into my head. Now this could mean that these headphones need, like, I don't know, 300-hour plus of break-in time to be worn in, which I haven't had time to have that much time with them, but I just felt that they were a little bit uncomfortable at the top of the headband. Now that is a couple of hours of gaming and without taking them off, so do bear that in mind. I thought to point that out in my review. Now, most importantly, the sound quality. So how do these sound? Now, the D7000 was an upgrade over my D2000 or the D5000. The drivers were different and they were just a lot more revealing, especially in the mid-range. And this was very much the case with the D7200s. They have a lot better mid-range. The mid-range is a lot more forward, you can hear it, it's a lot less recessed, yet the quality in the highs and the lows is absolutely flawless. You've got fantastic sub-bass response, which really extend and really rumble, especially thanks to the wooden cup. You've got a nice sort of a tonality that occurs, and you've got a nice sort of soundstage as well. All together, it's brilliant. The bass has like a meaty type of wooden feel to it, which is great. The mid bass as well is punchy, it's clean, it's exactly what you'd want from a mid bass. It's not overpowering by any means, it's just exactly what you'd want for a closed back headphone. Now, in terms of overall detail, it doesn't compete with something like the Fostex TH900s. Those are in another class above. They've got a very, very clean bass response. But as far as these £500 headphones go, they're beautiful. They are definitely better than some open back headphones I've heard, such as even the Sennheiser HD800s, who are really sought after. Their mid bass doesn't compete with these closed back headphones. It's just the nature of them, but also in terms of what the Denons are able to achieve. So mid bass and sub bass, fantastic. Now the mids themselves are recessed versus headphones which are £500 to £700. For example, if you take the LCD 2C, which I reviewed not too long ago, around £700 price tag, those have a lot better mids. They're a lot more forward sounding, a lot more revealing. But where the mids are better on the LCDs, you've got better bass on these. Now that is also the case that because one is a closed back, one is open back, so do bear that in mind. But I just thought to point that out. However, versus the older range, the D2000 and the 5000, the mids are a lot more revealing, a lot more forward sounding, and a lot less recessed. So if you're going to be upgrading from a 2000 or 5000, you're going to see a big difference. If you're going to be upgrading from a D7000, the original 7000, I think you're going to struggle to hear a difference. If anything, depending on how you've modified it and whatnot, you probably might not even hear a difference at all. If not, it might be just in terms of the wooden construction that might be slightly different. So in terms of sound quality wise, it's very much got the same sort of sound signature and the sound characteristics as the older line, and yet it still improves over the older babyier models, or sister or brother models, whatever you want to call them. In terms of the highs, they do extend very well. They are slightly rolled off at the top end, is what I found in pretty much all the Denon headphones, pretty much the old generation and the new generation. They do roll off at the top end. It is very slight, means that it's slightly warmer sound signature that you're going to get, almost like a U-shaped, like a valley type shaped sound signature. But overall, you do get plenty of energy and plenty of extension at top end. One thing I do like to point out versus, like, let's say all the LCDs, is the fact that these headphones are pretty speedy. They don't lack in terms of the energy, and they don't lack in terms of producing the sounds as you hear them. Whereas the LCDs or some other headphones, which are quite big, or open back headphones, you do find they are slightly slower and more sluggish, which means that when it comes to listening to EDM music, these headphones are absolutely fantastic for that. Whereas the LCDs, potentially, you could argue, wouldn't be as good of a fit, even though the sound frequencies are completely, skewed more towards the EDM sound, as in good sub bass, not that much of a mid bass, but great mids and highs. Now, in terms of the sound stage of this, they're closed back headphones, but honestly, they sound fantastic. You've got great width, you've got great depth, and overall, in terms of how they respond to instrument separation, absolutely fantastic. No complaints whatsoever in terms of the soundstage. Of course, they're not going to compete with the open air sounding LCD2s or anything similar like that. From what you'd expect from a closed back headphone, I must say they're absolutely sensational. So soundstage wise, again, no sort of complaints. Versus my older ones, I would say they're absolutely identical. I couldn't really notice a difference. If anything, my older ones sounded a little bit better, a little bit wider. And the reason why is because of the pads, more space between the driver and your ears, and therefore it gives a little bit of a wider soundstage. So overall, in terms of the sound quality goes for the Denon D7200, I must say they're absolutely fantastic. Exactly what I would expect from the Denon sound signature, and exactly what I'd expect from almost like the older line. Now, the most important question over here is that should you upgrade or should you get them? First of all, if you've never had high-end headphones and you're looking for closed back headphones rather than open back headphones, be it for, I don't know, the sound isolation, be it for the better bass in terms of mid bass and a slightly better sub bass response, these are by far one of the best closed back headphones on the market. Now, of course, people will say, oh, you've got some old school JVCs, you've got the older Denon line, you've even got the Fostex, which are like triple the price or double to triple the price. But for £500, these are hands down the best closed back headphones you can find for under £500. I would struggle for anyone to say otherwise. Of course, there's some great headphones out there, but honestly, for what you're getting a great deal over here. There's beautiful sound. And I kind of regret, because I have to send these back because a review sample, really regret sending them back. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite happy with my more old like personal headphones, which I made myself. So in terms of sound quality wise for that, if you're looking to buy some new headphones, absolutely these are beautiful. In terms of comfort, as I said, the top of the headband can dig in a little bit. Other than that, they're great. Unlike the Odyssey, for example, they're very heavy, very like droopy on your ears. Even with the headband, which is lovely in terms of design, I just felt that it won't be as comfortable in long listening sessions as these. So if you gave me the choice between the LCD2s, for example, and the 2Cs, or these, I would pick these. Not only because of their sound signature, which is more custom to the music I listen to, like R&B and dance music, but also in terms of comfort. I can wear these for hours on end, of course, with the headband, bearing with the headband, whereas the other ones, I could only wear them for a certain amount of time. Then also, let's talk about if you should upgrade if you've got the older generation line. Now, if you've got the old Denon 7100, I can't really comment on that. If you got the Denon D600, absolutely upgrade, not only in terms of looks but in terms of sound quality. If you got the old Denon D2000 or 5000, which have, if they have or haven't been modified, you will see a significant difference in terms of the mid-range of these. If, however, you got the Denon D7000, then you'll find that these headphones, the only really thing that they offer is the removable cable. And in all honesty, unless they really break on you, the older cables, then I would just stick to your old headphones. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully I've covered everything. New generation, old generation, mid-generation headphones, comparison with other headphones which sit around the same price tag, and also in terms of the overall sound quality, design, build quality, comfort, everything like that. Hopefully I've covered everything. If I haven't, make sure you let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to respond. More than anything, if you can like, comment, subscribe, always helps the channel grow and I can continue doing independent, unbiased, unpaid reviews. And there we go. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Let me know what closed back headphones you would choose for under £500. And let me know if you've heard these or are interested in hearing them. Alright guys, I've been Totally Dubbed. Take care and bye bye.